So we have seen in example 1.1 how we can charge a metal sphere positively without touching it. By induction we have seen. Now as we turn the pages of this, we have the next point, which is basic properties of electric charges. So we have basic properties that we'll discuss, and then we have example 1.2 and 1.3 that we'll do in this video. So what are the basic properties? What are the basic properties of electric charges? Friends, by this time we have understood that there are two types of electric charges, plus and minus, which were coined by Benjamin Franklin. The negative charge or negatively charged bodies are actually electrons. If we think that electrons and protons are the charges with which an object or an atom is composed of, neutrons are neutral. So negative charge is electron, which we can represent as like this, or E superscript minus symbol, and a positively charged object can be a proton or a location where there is no electron, and which we can represent as Q plus or E subscript plus. One electron has an electric charge of magnitude 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 coulombs. Coulombs is a person who gave the properties of electric charges. Properties means like charges repel, unlike charges attract. Because electron is negatively charged, we'll put a minus symbol. But electric charge is a scalar quantity. Electric charge is a scalar quantity. It is only measurable. Charge on electron is taken negative, and charge on a proton also has the same magnitude of 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 coulombs. C stands for, capital C stands for coulomb, and it is positive. So what are the basic properties? There are three basic properties. One is the additive property. Next is quantization of electric charge, and the next is electric charge is conserved. Electric charge is conserved. What is additive property? Additive property is if a system has got n number of charges, say Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4, these all, additive property is total electric charge. Total electric charge is the algebraic sum of charge on the individual charges. So there may be positive charges, there may be negative charges. So total charge is the algebraic sum of the individual charges on that body. Quantization of charge is, electric charge is always quantized. Say we have a charged body. We have a charged body which consists of n number of electrons, or say n1 number of electrons, and n2 number of protons. And if we don't want to say protons are actually locked inside nucleus of an atom. So the n2 is the number of no electrons, means no negative charge, so positive charge. Then total electric charge. Total electric charge on that body is n1 times a charge on one electron plus n2 times charge on one proton. And here charge on an electron is taken as a negative, as we discussed here. So this will be minus n1. Then we can write the same expression as and in magnitude wise, charge on electron and charge on proton are same. So we can take E as 1.6 into 10 power minus 19 coulombs, and we have here minus N1 plus N2. And here N1 and N2 belongs to the set of integers. So they are integers. So their difference is also integer. So total electric charge on a system or on a body, if we take it as capital Q, that is N times integral multiple of the charge that is present on that body. So Q is equal to Ne. So electric charge is quantized. That means it will have a certain quantity. The third property is electric charge is conserved. Electric charge is conserved means when we have seen that amber is rubbed with silk or fur. So when things were electrified or electrically charged, one of the object loses electric charge and another gains. The one that gains is negatively charged and the one that loses is positive or positively charged. So here, what is the meaning of electric charge is conserved? The meaning is the amount of electric charge that is lost by a system is equal to the amount of charge that is gained by the other. So electric charge is neither created nor destroyed. It is only transferred from one body to the other. So conservation or law of conservation of electric charge can be stated as the total electric charge of an isolated system. Total electric charge of an isolated system is conserved. Total electric charge of an isolated system is conserved. So these are the properties of electric charges. 1.2 states that if 10 to the power 9 electrons move out of a body to another body in every second, this is about charging by conduction or induction. 10 to the power 9 electrons move out of a body to another body, how much time is required to get total charge of 1 coulomb on other body? So let us answer this. So we have example 1.2. I am writing the solution to that. They say in 1 second, approximately 10 to the power 9 electrons move from one body to the other. Then how much time will it take to charge the other body with 1 coulomb? So I can write the same statement as 10 to the power 9 electrons move out from one body to the other in 1 second. Then 1 coulomb. 1 coulomb has approximately 6 into 10 to the power 18 electrons, protons or holes. So this many electrons will go to the other body in what duration? This is that question. Just like unitary method we can do. So this into this by this. So 6 into 10 to the power 18 into 1 second by 10 to the power 9. And when we work out, we will get 6 into 10 to the power, the gap here is 10 to the power 9 seconds. But the point is, in 6 into 10 to the power 9 seconds, 1 coulomb of charge. So 1 coulomb of charge takes this many seconds to go from one body to the other. Number is quite big, so we convert this to minutes or hours or days or years. Let us see how we convert. So I will just write the conversion statements. 1 second, if I want to convert to a minute, I have to divide by 60. Then I'll get in terms of minute. 1 minute, if I want to convert to hour, I have to divide by 1 more 60 and then I'll get in hour. 1 hour, if I want to convert to day, I have to divide by 24. So I will get a day. And 1 day, if I want to convert to year, I have to divide by 365. So overall, 6 into 10 to the power 9 by the product of this, that is 3600 into 24 into 365, this many years, and if I multiply and divide the whole thing, we will get approximately 198 years it takes to just transfer a coulomb of charges from one body to the other at the rate of 10 to the power 9 electrons a second. How much positive and negative charge is there in a cup of water? So in 1 cup of water, how much negative and positive charge is there? Let us calculate this. Example 1.3. The question is, how much of positive or negative charge is present in 1 cup of water. Water is electrically neutral, but how much amount of positive and negative charge is present in 1 cup of water? Let us assume that 1 cup is approximately, it's only assumption, 1 cup of water is approximately 250 grams. And we know that 1 mole of water is what? It's a H2O. So 2 into 1 plus 16. So 18 grams. So 18 grams of water has the Avogadro number of atoms. That is 6.023 into 10 to the power 23 atoms. In that case, 250 grams of water will have how many atoms in it? So we will do that cross multiplication and we'll have 250 by 18 into 6 into 6.023 into 10 to the power 23 atoms. Now, a cup of water has got this many atoms. This many atoms has got how much of positive charge and how much of negative charge. Here, hydrogen, 2 hydrogen, and there is 1 oxygen. There is 1 oxygen. There is 1 oxygen. So here this has 2 protons and 2 electrons. This has got 8 protons and 8 electrons. So what does it mean? Its meaning is a H2O, 1 molecule of water has 10 protons or 10 positively charged particles and 10 negatively charged particles, 10 electrons. So the magnitude of positive charge and magnitude of negative charge, both are 10. So the magnitude of positive charge that 1 cup of water has is equal to the magnitude of negative charge that 1 cup of water has, which is, so it is a 10 protons, 10 electrons, right? So 10 charge on 1 proton or 1 electron is 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 coulombs. This, and we are talking about 1 cup of water. 1 cup of water has got this many atoms. So 10 times, because charge is quantized, so Ne times the amount of water that is present in the cup. So 10 into charge on 1 electron or proton into 250 by 18 times 6.023 into 10 to the power 23. So this many coulombs of charge is present, or this much of negative charge is there in 1 cup of water. Also this much amount of negative positive charge, this much amount of negative charge is there in 1 coulomb, which if we calculate, we will get 1.34 into 10 to the power 7 coulombs. So this much amount of positive charge and this much amount of negative charge is present in a cup of water.